Dave was talking, Neil, about the likes of Pogba, Fernandes, Ronaldo, saying that Greenwood and Rashford are the future. It doesn't make a difference one way or the other. If you and I've been behind Solskjaer all the way. I wanted him to do well. I think he has done well. I'm not going to say he hasn't done well. He got them back to a place where there was a bit of consistency. There was a good, feel good factor around. But it looks like now that he's got them to the level that his experience will allow him to get to. Now, at the moment, he looks like he's struggling, first of all, to deal with big name players. Second of all, to deal with problems on the pitch. And third of all, to understand how to fit a team together and maybe to realise that he can't fit everyone in. And with this Manchester United team, he seems to be trying to fit all the egos into the team and keep everyone happy.
Yeah, so do you know what it is, Roy? I'd liken this to Lampard last season when he bought players and he felt obliged to play them because they were his players and he spent the money on them. So Havertz was one, Werner was the other. And at the end of the day, Timo Werner's inability to play and to settle and to get going was probably the main reason why Lampard got the sack because he just couldn't get him to play the way he wanted. But he stuck by his man. He didn't bring back in Abraham. Thomas Tuchel walks in and he owed nobody nothing, absolutely nothing. And he was ruthless from day one. Everyone got a shot in the team. And when you weren't performing, you were gone. He didn't care if it was Werner. He didn't care if it was Abraham. He didn't care if it was Havertz. And he literally went, right, it's sink or swim. I don't give a crap about you because my ego is bigger than you guys. Solskjaer will never do that. He just doesn't have it in the tank. So what he's doing now is he's playing square pegs and round holes. He doesn't know what to do with Sancho, who is now a left winger seemingly. He was playing more central even in that game at times. It was weird to see him tucking in. Pogba, he's after flipping on his established Fred and McTominay scenario, and he's gone with Pogba in beside Matic. Matic is finished. He's afraid to drop Fernandes. He's damn well sure afraid to drop Ronaldo because it becomes a massive story. Like, there's an argument to be made that you put Cavani in that Man United side, he'll press from the front, he'll close the guy down, and he will put in a serious, serious shift. So something has to give. I guarantee you, Tuchel would not have lined up at that team yesterday because it was too open. You had all the attacking players on the pitch at the same time. I texted you joking, right? I was saying it reminded me of the time when Ireland played Holland in Lansdowne Road. And at the end of the game, they had like 6 strikers on the field, but they didn't have a shot. They just lost. It was like the panic set in and he went, quick, get on Rashford, get on Sancho, get on Lingard, get all these boys on. But they've no way of playing anymore. I know exactly Leicester's game plan from the way they played. Get the ball through the lines into Madison. Madison will feed Iniacho and Vardy. That's their game plan. But they were comfortable in possession. I've no idea what Man United's game plan was yesterday. Absolutely no idea watching them. Even the two holding midfielders, Pogba didn't try a leg. Fellas walking by him, playing through him. Fernandez, Dave said, on the single man press, which I did notice actually, he was a single man press, and then the arms went up in the air as if to say, hey, where's the other five of yous? They were miles away from him, miles away from him. So it's weird to see United churn out a performance like that when you look at the names, and like it's names and reputation at the end of the day. Look at the names. Paul Pogba went out for France during the week and he had a blinding game in the tournament. And then he turns up for Man United and literally jogs around the pitch. It's just shocking. Fernandez, I don't know. I didn't kind of throw the eye over him, but maybe I think he has to look at leaving one of these guys out and bringing back the work ethic. Like if he learned that out of Sir Alex Ferguson over the years, you had Ji Sung Park, you had Carrick, you'd Skull. These boys put in a serious shift. They
John
weren't the most
O'Shea
attractive
playing
player.
centre midfield.
John O'Shea.
Neville said that yesterday. He says there's a reason why me, Ji Sung Park, Michael Carrick, Nathan Cleverley played because you need grafters as well as the fancy players. He's basically said that. He said, yeah, you've all the fancy, but there's no graft on that pitch.
Do you remember he used to play the two twins, Raphael and the other lad? He used to play them as wing backs sometimes, just crazy stuff, because he wanted to inject energy. He wanted to inject a bit of urgency. Them guys would run all bloody day for you. So I don't know what the stats are as far as Man United making sprints, closing up closing down defenders, etc. But it was piss poor yesterday because I didn't see any of it. When I texted you, Roy, I think it was about 58 minutes, and I had a good feeling Leicester were going to nick something in that game. It just felt so in control for them from start to finish. And that led me to say, do you know what? If I was a Man United supporter now I know it wouldn't happen because he probably managed Liverpool, I'd much rather see Brendan Rodgers and the strategy that he has implemented now at Liverpool and now at Leicester. I would much rather see him as my manager of my club than I would Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I just don't get it. I think he's ran his course at this stage. He's done, as you said, I think he did well. He had a couple of nice purple patches. But for a club like Manchester United, in the stature that they are, the money they have, the global size of them, it's just incomprehensible that they have a manager that just doesn't have the experience.
Just for a split second there, like as you said about Rodgers, and I suppose where you give him a bit of credit, he obviously knows how he wants to play, and then the players he gets are to fit that system. So one, what is Ollie's system, which I don't know, and then two, is he buying the players to fit that? And the second question is, I don't know either. So both of them questions I don't know. Roy, being a United man, would you know the question to either of them? Like, does he have a system in two?
No, I think that basically his style of play is he has certain people in certain positions go win me the game. It's like we've been talking about earlier on. Put the stars out, they'll go and win the game. But there is no game plan because when you looked at the first half of the game, Leicester were dominating the game. United were penned back. United don't play. I was watching the Liverpool and Watford game. Liverpool are on the front foot all the time. Now, different level of team they're playing against. But Liverpool are like that in every game. They're on the front foot. Whether it be Man City, they'll still try to be on the front foot all the time. United against teams are sitting back now, and you can call it counter-attack all you like, but if you're playing Ronaldo up front, you can't play counter-attack in football. You've got to be pressing, and you've got to get deliveries into the box and give him opportunities to score. Otherwise, why are you playing him up there? He doesn't feed off halfway line through balls anymore. He feeds off getting the ball into the box and doing his thing in the box, and that's what he does. So I do think that it's very unfair to point the finger at Cristiano Ronaldo because you know what he gets from him. You know how you're going to get the best out of him, and he's not doing the job. And I think Solskjaer, as I said already, I've backed him all the way, but now I think he's shown his limitations, and with the team that he hasn't got the bottle to pick the right team, and I don't know if he even has the know-how. And when you bring Sancho in, who's played right wing, and they constantly play him left wing, I still think Sancho's miles overrated. I'm delighted because when I seen him, first of all, over in Germany, I didn't see anything great about him, and I'm delighted that my gut was right. I don't see anything in him to say. Now, I hope he comes over. I hope he there's a purple patch and he's unbelievable, but I don't see it now.
Last year, Roy, when you played Leicester, I can remember one of the games where you kept pressing Johnny Evans in possession, and they ended up you turned over possession from pressing them high like what they did to Maguire. And Man United then you had McTominay and Fred. They were pushing up the field, pressing in on top of them, and that's how you got your goals. But yesterday it was so passive. Like Leicester passed out of the back line. It was unbelievable. You look at Pereira on the right wing for Leicester. He was up and down that wing like a yo-yo, and he was a presence on the field. Whereas Luke Shaw, I can't remember a single thing that he did. Even as he's generally decent going forward, at least. Very little of that. But I'm very surprised that Solskjaer knew a winning way to play Leicester and to press them high and to get at them when they tried to play out of the back. And he completely reverted, whether it was intentionally or not, whether it was the players not carrying out orders or not, I don't know. But it's just like you surrendered possession to a team that's comfortable in possession. It just felt wrong.
Dave, you're the chairman of Manchester United, or the owner, whoever makes a decision there. Do you sack Solskjaer now? Do you keep him on till the end of the season? What would you do?
Well, the rumours and a lot of the websites, like apparently he's still safe enough at the moment. See, I think what it is, the dynamic there is it's a bit of a team thing where I don't know how much he controls the transfer. I think that's why they probably like him, because he's quite happy for them to play fantasy football and buy who they want to, because I think that kind of dynamic, they're happy enough with it at the moment that they have a bit of control over him, because obviously Mourinho, they did not back him in any way, shape or form, and he knew they had problems. and they didn't back him. But for some reason, they seem to be backing him. But maybe it's because they can buy who they want to buy. So I don't know. If it was a real chairman, yeah, I'd be putting him under pressure without a shadow of a doubt, because I'd be bringing him in going, listen, we've backed you this year. We've brought in one of our ex-legends who still has it in him to put the ball in the back of the net. Are you going to come up with a way of playing that will play to his strengths? Because he was anonymous yesterday because there was absolutely nothing for him. He didn't do a lot himself, but there was nothing there. So therefore, he was a passenger. So why pay the wages? Because obviously the fee wasn't that bad. Did you do it? And then Sancho, I don't know whether it's even a Solskjaer player because they were after him for so long. So I doubt if it's even he had any control over that. So I'd say it's a bit of, he's going to get away with it for a bit longer than a normal manager would, because I think he accepts the way it is. He's a bit of a, I don't know what it is, a company boy for the powers that be. That's the look at that dynamic at United at the moment, that he is the company boy for them, and that's why it's like, I just keep doing what you're doing, you're grand. Because I think Glazers are a bit like the Wenger era. As long as they're in the top four, they're happy. So as long as, when that's under threat, which it is at the moment, that's when Solskjaer will be nervous. Because if they're all of a sudden going to be missing out on Champions League, I think that's when the screw will be turned on them, because it'll be all about the bottom line and bringing in the Champions League dollar for them.